Hello YouTube, Time itself here with a Ground War game of domination on Crisis. But before I really get into the gameplay, I'm going to have to say you've probably noticed that I haven't been posting as many full gameplays recently. Now there are several reasons for that. The first being that the topics that I really wanted to cover didn't really lend themselves to full gameplay videos. In fact, I would go so far as to say that, in general, I don't really see the value in a full gameplay unless there's something particular about that game or the strategy employed that really needs to cover the length of an entire game. These domination matches can easily go over 10 minutes if they're close, and so that makes for a rather long video, and I know a lot of people don't really want to sit around and watch a video that's that long. The second is that I've been playing more Team Death than Domination. And while I certainly like Team Death, I view it more as practice than anything else. It's the objective game modes that really get me excited about games. And honestly, if I don't really find an objective game mode that I really like playing a lot, Treyarch really messed up Domination, I'm probably not going to play Black Ops a whole lot more. That's not to say that I would stop completely, but I probably wouldn't be on almost every night that I had time available to play. And that lack of real enthusiasm for Team Death is kind of what makes me less interested in posting videos of Team Death games. For whatever reason, when I play Team Death, it feels less about the team strategy and more about the individual tactics. And while the individual tactics and gun skill are good, it's the team strategy that I really like to focus on and probably makes the most interesting videos in my opinion. For example, I managed to get a 41-2 game on Array in Mercenary Team Death, and I thought to myself, that was a pretty good game. But what would I do a commentary on it over? And it's just not something that really makes me want to commentate that video or even upload it, because there are plenty of people out there who can just put up beastly scores in Team Death like that. Anyway, on to the gameplay. And for this game, I'm going to be using an M14 with a red dot, sleight of hand, and hardline. Anyway, you see at the start of the game I took C, and then I'm going to hold this left side of the map for a little bit until my team starts pushing up on this side and really push them back into their spawn.
What the?
And I was very surprised to see this kill cam. That guy got pretty lucky there. As we try to hold them in their spawn, the left side doesn't offer any really good choke points unless you want to wait all the way back by the house where you saw me at the beginning of the game. But as we start cutting them off on the right sides, they can't go around to the right underneath to B, it gets easier and easier to pick them off as they have to run across the open out by the ocean. Then, as long as we don't flip the spawn, we can really push them back in behind A, and it'll be like shooting fish in a barrel. Against an aggressive or coordinated team, this is pretty hard to make happen, just because they'll push out in one direction or another and you can't hold them. But as long as their answer is to wildly run around corners or sit back even further and try and snipe us, they're going to have a very hard time taking map control from us in any meaningful way, especially in order to get to one of the points and take it. I'd say that this is pretty much textbook domination gameplay. Hold 2 points, let the other team have 1, and keep them at their point. Map control at its finest. I think a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that this game is only about killing. Now, I've mentioned it before, but every time you kill someone, they're going to respawn. And you want to know where and preferably control where they respawn. And that way we see there really are 2 parts to map control, killing them and then controlling where they spawn. If you have one and not the other, it doesn't really work very well. But if you do really like killing, this is probably also one of the most effective ways to pick up lots of kills in a game. Because if they're respawning everywhere, you end up having to run around, it's a lot more risky, and it's slower. If they're all in the same place, you know where they are, your teammates know where they are, and you can kill them just about as fast as they respawn. Domination spawns are a bit messed up, but they stabilize in Ground War a fair amount, and so in this game, things actually work out very well. I used to use the M14 quite a bit, although without sleight of hand. I went ahead and got sleight of hand pro after this and had a lot of fun with the quick aim down sights and the M14's quick kill time. It's one of the fastest killing guns in the game if you're in range for the 2-shot kill, and in a game without stopping power, being able to kill someone really quickly is really nice. When I'm trying to pick people off at this distance, just aiming with the right thumbstick alone is really hard because tiny adjustments make the difference between hitting the guy and not. So instead, there's a trick you can use that makes it a lot easier to hit targets like this at this range. And that is, for those fine adjustments from just one side of the guy to the other, instead of turning, strafe left or right. because if you stay looking in the same direction and move 1 foot to your left, the bullet's going to go 1 foot left downrange. And it wouldn't look like that in real life because you'd move the gun, but in a first-person shooter, you stay looking in exactly the same direction. So strafing left and right is a very good way to give yourself additional accuracy, especially when you really need it like this. The other thing is that even if I had a fully automatic gun, I would be trying to burst fire every single shot in that clip, like the FAL and M14 make you do as semi-automatic weapons. The thing is that the second shot is almost always going to be off target, so you have to let the gun recover from the recoil and line up the next shot. And I tracked this guy, but I let him go because I only got 2 rounds left, and I'm pretty sure that's a 3-hit kill at that range unless they're both headshots. And I managed to get 14 kills and I forget how many assists with just the standard ammo loadout for the M14. I'm very happy with that. And that is what the semi-auto's advantage really is. At range, you want to put a couple carefully placed shots down range. You can do that. If you get closer, you can really spaz out, lay out 6 or 7 rounds. And my teammate is going to kill himself to give me his gun. Thank you, Shore. I like your FAMAS too. Anyway, firing very quickly, the semi-autos, the recoil becomes a significant factor, and with 14 the recoil is very predictable, so I'd like to show you a little clip. Judging range to target, how fast you're going to fire the trigger, and how hard you're going to pull down on the thumbstick to correct for the recoil all come into play, but it's certainly possible to start at a guy's feet and reliably get headshots. It just takes some practice. So this is going quite well. We've got them trapped in their spawn, and we've got an SR-71 up. Still, if someone on my team feels the need to call someone out, they gotta die fast.
The guy sniping on the rock above there. He's down.
Because revenge kills are a risky business, and having one of your teammates take the guy out before you can even respawn, well, that's a much better way of handling things. I imagine this video is going to meet with some disapproval because I'm sitting up here quote-unquote camping as we spawn trap them, and for some reason people really seem to hate these things in videos. If you don't consider this exciting, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to run in there. It's both suicide and it actually hurts my team. And Call of Duty isn't about getting in fair gunfights. It's about getting in unfair gunfights. And this is a horribly unfair situation benefiting my team, and so I'd like to keep it this way. I mean, just look at how many kills and assists, especially the assists I'm picking up here, because multiple people are shooting at these guys as they try to run out of their spawn. It's fantastic. If they were to stop and try to return fire, someone else would kill them pretty quickly, even if they managed to get the guy they were shooting, just because once they stop running, they're an even easier target out there. So, no, I'm not running around a whole lot, but I am picking up a lot of targets, and I'm getting a lot of shots off on target. Now extend that to the other 7 players on this team, and you'll get a picture of just how much firepower we're putting downrange as they come around one by one. Also, when the scoreboard comes up, notice how few caps and defends there are on either side. This is indicative of a game where we really controlled the map as we wanted to, and came out with an easy win. That just about wraps things up. I'd like to thank you for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, and leave a comment with how many kills you can get with just the default ammo on a gun. I'm kind of curious.
Show it! Show it! Yes! What? Okay, this is badass. Slaughter these guys. I did not disappoint. Slightly confused, but I heard